Hi, ladies and gents. Welcome to episode 30 of the Deu Awuok Show, where it is my job to interview professional and collegiate soccer players about their life journeys around the beautiful game. On this episode, I speak with Jonny Tekie, a former player for Canisius University's men's soccer program. Amongst other things, we talk about Tekie's journey from Frankfurt, playing for the academy, and then his decision to come to America to play D1 college soccer. We also talk about his experience adjusting to the language, the culture, and the weather differences while navigating the challenges that come with playing a Division I sport, balancing the academics and the social life. We also get into Techie's thought process as he made the difficult and painful decision to give up on his professional soccer dream and pivot into a career in finance. I hope you enjoy this interesting and exciting conversation with a good friend. Jonny Tekie, welcome to the pod, man. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Du.
Excited to have this conversation. Let's go back to where it started for you. When did you start playing soccer, and how did you get involved with the sport?
I've been playing soccer my whole life. When I grew up, I was just in the neighborhood, picking up the ball and just playing with friends and the older guys in the neighborhood. I was not really interested in soccer up until my brother transferred to this local team. He must have been 12 years old. I was 9. And I decided to switch. I actually played basketball a little bit in a team. So then I said, hey, my older brother is going to this team. Let me go there too and just play some soccer. Once I got there, I was 9 years old at that time. I played 1 year there. Played, apparently, I can't remember much, but I played very well. And then from there, I got an offer from the Academy of Eintracht Frankfurt.
Wait,
Um,
that was a 9 years old.
That was at 9 years old. Yeah, I
Oh
joined them
wow.
when I was in the U10. So that's when everything really started. When I took soccer very serious.
Did they see you playing at the academy that your brother played at? How did they find you?
Yes, so I think they were very well connected. The coaches, they knew each other, and they just talked about me because I played a good season. I mean, I was 8, 9 years old. I don't think you can play that good of soccer. Maybe it was more of a personality kind of thing. But yes, they invited me for a couple of practices, and then they asked me to join the team. I was 9 years old, and then from there, started playing there.
How was that experience to be playing for a premier European academy, right? Like, what did that adjustment look like for you? Was it like a big transition? Did you easily and seamlessly, get acclimated? How was that adjustment for you?
Since I was still pretty young, I didn't take much seriously, right? So you look at this big club, you go there and you just want to play soccer, like you play in the neighborhood. Um, I remember getting injured. I broke my arm in the first year. And once I came back from that injury, I was more frightened about everything. I remember being more cautious about everything, about any tackle I went into, just because I was scared of getting injured again.
Yeah.
And that's when it started, where I felt more of, like, I got more aware of myself playing soccer. The confidence started kicking in. Hey, am I doing the right thing here and here? And before that, I was just more of, let's go and have fun, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think that was more of a turning point.
What age was this?
That was when I was 11,
Okay.
11, 12. I do remember that because there was an accident at home, a little fight with my brother. And yeah, it was in front of a big tournament that we had, an international tournament. Was looking forward to it all week. And then I had to unfortunately cancel it because of that injury. And then when I joined the team again, I remember not being in the starting, not being a starting player, and having to fight myself back into it, and just was very difficult at that time because I mean, me and another guy were the only people actually from Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Everyone was outside of Frankfurt. So you face different mentalities, different upbringings. So it's tough to connect with people on one level. Um, but yeah, I mean, I at that point, I remember first time being aware of playing soccer. at that team. Yeah.
That's interesting. I remember we had a conversation. This when we were both at college at Canisius. I think I was talking about my issues with confidence, right? And being able to like deal with that and navigate that. And I think I'd ask you how you like deal with it. Like, how can you just hear criticism and then just move on with your life and not really have it affect you, right? And I think one of the comments you brought up was, and I think at age 12 or something like that, you had a coach that told you, hey, you're crap, you're not gonna make it, right? Which is obviously not not a great thing to hear as a kid, right? So maybe talk to us about that experience and how you handle it, and maybe how it's shaped you.
Yes, I remember running to my dad actually when he told me that. The first time I heard that, just very bold to a kid saying, "Hey, you're not good enough. You're shit. I don't know what you do here." Ran to my dad, said, "Hey, that's what I heard. I don't know what to do." And he just kind of reminded me of where I come from at that point. He said, "Johnny, you've been playing soccer for the past 4 years, 5 years. Everyone in the neighborhood likes you. They know you're a good player. It's not about you. It's about you not fitting in the coach system." And you can translate that into life as well. Maybe we'll get there later on. But it doesn't. If a coach doesn't see you as a good player, it doesn't mean that you're not a good player. It's just that his philosophy is not really aligning with the way you play.
Hmm.
I've had the experience where I played with players, very good players, that made it professional afterwards too, that were selected out of the team, fought themselves back into another team, and just kept on playing. And the only common denominator between all of these people that got um, thrown out of the team basically was confidence.
Yeah.
And that confidence came from home at that point because we're still young. You don't make a lot of experiences in life. You can't really put everything together to become the man that you are now.
Hmm.
So I think at that point, my dad was a very big help in reminding me, hey, Johnny, don't let that affect you. You know who you are, you know what you can do on the ball. So just keep playing, just keep on playing. And yeah, I think that helped me a lot actually, instead of breaking.
That's important. I think I was struggling with that as what I was like 19 or whatever age I was in college. And then, like, I'm at that age, right? Because I was not used to hearing that. So I can only imagine the impact that would have had as a 12-year-old to hear that, right? You're just the early innings of your soccer career, and then to be told that like, it can break you, and somebody might really give up, maybe keep going. So you probably just give up on that. But I think having that structure at home, people that like can give you the broader perspective on life and say, hey, this is one person's experience, opinion of you. It doesn't define you. It doesn't mean a lot, and you can kind of look past that. Was and it sounds like it was super important for you.
Yes, definitely. Definitely was. It was a great learning experience at that point. And I do remember coming back stronger from it. After I heard that, I found myself being better in soccer when I'm angry on the field. Which is weird to say, but I've always had that in my head when I stepped on the pitch. I was like, who are you to tell me that I'm shit? I'll play my game, and you're not the only judge of my game, and
Yeah,
we'll see where I get at this point. But I'm only gonna be with you for a year, so we'll see where I get after you.
I guess fast forward to your college recruiting process, right? How does a kid from Frankfurt, right, end up at Canisius University in Buffalo, New York? Like, what did that process look like for you? And then why did you end up ultimately at Canisius?
Yes, so let me tell you. So I didn't. So in Germany, you have two U19 team years.
Yeah.
So you play 17 and 18 years old, right? I left Germany after my after completing my high school diploma. So
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to play So the decision was between playing the second year in Germany, the second year of U19, or going to the States and play college soccer. I've heard about it from a coach at that time. He said, "Are you interested in this? And why don't you go to some tryouts? American coaches are gonna come, so why don't you see what you get?" Um, so it was in a different city. It was not in Frankfurt. It was in Cologne. So
Hmm.
me and my friend actually went there. and played. There was a one weekend event where you had practice sessions, also friendly games against local teams in Cologne.
Yeah.
And the American coaches just watch you for a weekend. And on Sunday, that's when the coaches would come up to you and offer you a scholarship, talk to you about your vision, about your goals in life, that kind of stuff. So at that point, I've had, I think, around six, seven offers.
Hmm.
And one of them was Canisius University. So at that time, it was Dermot McGrain who
Yeah.
talked to me. He was a pretty good convincer at that time. Pretty good man. Um, I didn't know anything about U.S. soccer. I didn't know anything about the U.S. period.
Yeah.
So you could have told me anything at that point, and I probably would have agreed.
How did you decide between the offers that you had? Was it like who gave you the most money? Like how did you think through those?
Yes. So I think out of the six offers, it was four full scholarship offers,
Yeah.
uh, ranging from NAIA to three D1 schools. I think one D3 school, something like that. And at the end of the day, I think it came down to which coach I liked the most. I didn't do my research before going there at all. Fun fact, I thought every city is like Miami, palm trees and good weather. So the coach told me that I would be in close proximity to New York City. And when you hear about New York City, it's wow, right? New York City, you see it in movies, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, why not? I mean, this is this is exactly where I'm going to go. And then from there, it was just passing the tests, language tests and SAT tests and all that kind of stuff that you have to do before getting into college.
Yeah.
And that was pretty smooth.
No, that's actually very good marketing from Dermot, right? Because
Yeah.
mentioning to mention New York City is close, it's really I mean for those that don't have the context, Canisius is in Buffalo. It's about a 6 hour drive, about an hour flight. So it's not that close. It's in the same state, but it's not that close in New York City. And Buffalo, New York is probably the opposite of Miami or Florida, right? It's very cold over there.
Yeah.
And there's no palm trees. So I guess
Yeah.
first time in the States, how was that experience? And then what were some of the struggles that you had? I would imagine for me, when I first came to the States, obviously not only the language, the weather differences, the food differences, the culture differences, that was a lot to adjust to. So what was that experience like for you?
I think you've mentioned exactly like the points that I have faced as well. Cultural differences, language barrier, food, um, just the way people connect, the way the people interact with each other. Everything was just so foreign to me, right? So when I came to the US, I've never been to the US before.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't know really how to speak German. Sorry, English. Um, when I did my high school diploma, after I finished it up, I the week before school ended, I went up to my English teacher and told her, "Hey, I have this offer from the US, and I really want to go. What do you think about that?" And she said, "No, Johnny, please don't do it. You're gonna be in university. That's high level English, and your English is not good. So please don't put yourself in that position." So I mean, I ended up doing it anyways. So once I got here, language barrier was tough.
Yeah.
I do have to say that if you join a team, everything is so much easier
Yeah.
because people in the team just kind of carry you on, and especially if I mean, at a soccer team, I wouldn't say I'm a bad player, so people, want to get to know you, want to interact with you, want to hear your story, that kind of stuff. So they make you feel much more comfortable. So
Yeah.
that takes a lot of this like these insecurities about language and everything away. I do have to say that when school started, everything fell apart at the first 6 months. um, what really helped me was just kind of doing the extra work. I mean, I remember putting my phone, asking professors that I can just record the session and put my phone on their desk, and then just listen to it slowly in my dorm again.
Hmm.
But I think after 6 months, we come back to confidence, I think, here. After 6 months, you start not caring that much no more about it. So then you start getting out of yourself, out of your comfort zone, and start just picking up conversations here and there. And I used to just every word I heard that I didn't know, I just wrote it down in my notes and then try to use it in a different sentence, some in another conversation.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot. In terms of cultural differences, I'm from Germany, and in Germany, if you don't really have to say anything productive, then you're better off just being silent, right?
I think
And
we talked about this before. Yeah.
yes, and then in the US, it's I mean a huge small talk culture, right? People say hi, how are you, and want to get to know you and talk about anything and everything, really, right? So I had a tough time really adjusting to that
Yeah.
because you have to differentiate between people that really want to get to know you and just do it because that's how,
This thing you do. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I used to talking, right? So I guess another funny story here is in my first year I remember walking up to a person. She asked me, "How are you? How are you?" And how are you? I guess in the US, it's just a hey, and you walk past, right? So I just stood there and tried to tell her about my day. And once I started going, I looked up and she left, right? So, so yeah, I mean that says a lot about what I just talked about. And but yeah, I mean, coming back to the team, that helped a lot.
And I can imagine, like, obviously you didn't speak the language, but there was other people. We had Italians, we had people from France, people that didn't speak English as well. And I think when you're in an environment, you're not the only one. I think it helps, right?
100% that helps. Not knowing that you're not the only one struggling. What trap you can fall into though is speaking exactly with these people over a long period of time
Yeah.
and being in that comfort zone and not and avoid be getting adjusted to your new life, right?
It's comfortable to just speak German to your German friends and not really learn English. Which again, I think one of the issues that sometimes team run into, and I think we had a little bit of this, where the Germans would be in a clique, the French people would be in a clique, the Italians would be in a clique, and then like there's not that chemistry or camaraderie across the team because everybody has their own little group, which cannot not always the most conducive thing to team chemistry.
Exactly. And I think our coach at that time did a good thing of actually splitting us up in the dorms. And
Yeah.
I was rooming with Alessandro, as you remember. Uh, got along with him very well, and he actually helped me a lot because a lot of people still to this day say I have a Toronto slang when I talk.
That's hilarious. I guess back to adjusting to the U.S. Right? How did you balance the demands of playing a Division I sport, the academics, as well as the social life? Like how hard was that, and how did you navigate that challenge?
I mean, I've grown up being always busy, to be honest, with soccer. Soccer was very demanding. School, you always school in Germany, school and soccer is separate. So no one knows. I mean, they know okay, you play at Frankfurt. Wow, you have a lot to do, but you always had to make time for one and the other, and they don't compromise, right? So it's always up to you. Coming from 8 a.m. to 3, 4 p.m. school, and then 5 p.m. get on the train to drive to another city to have practice up until 8, 9, coming back home, eat a little bit, and then go to sleep. I mean, that's kind of the same lifestyle I had here in the US too with soccer and college.
Yeah.
So it was not really a challenge in that sense. I would say uh, on top of that, learning the language and learning this new environment, that was the new aspect that I had to get used to it.
No, that's actually a good point because I think the three things I just mentioned already, academics, athletics, and personal life, those are challenging for any American. but then to be a foreigner, adjusting the culture, the weather, the language, I can only imagine it 10x that difficulty and makes it that much harder. But you've done well for yourself. You've gotten through that, and you're doing really well now. So kudos to you. That
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I guess I want to talk about maybe one of your highlights at Canisius. I don't know if this is your highlight, but it's one of the highlights for sure. Was the goal you had against our crosstown rivals in Niagara? I believe it was
Yeah.
a 25-yard screamer, a free kick. Uh, the only goal of the game, which one was the game. I guess talk to us about that goal and yeah, how that experience was for you.
So when I joined the team, there was a lot of promises on me, right? I mean, Derms really set on me for being the player that leads the team. I would say at that time, along with other players as well, obviously. But he
Yeah,
really wanted to push me, really wanted to put some pressure on my back to perform. Right. I think that free kick really helped me taking off the pressure a little bit and just playing for fun again. One big thing is for me is you have to play soccer. In order to play soccer with confidence, you got to
yeah,
enjoy the game.
yeah,
You got to enjoy the game, and you got to treat it as a game, not more, not less. So I think, I mean, it was a great. First of all, it was a great feeling scoring, scoring that free kick, especially Battle of the Bridge, A4A. All the athletes are there. You're a freshman, and you see all these seniors screaming for you, and you get recognized on campus for 2 3 weeks. People say, "Hey, the professors come up to you." That kind of stuff was amazing, right? Um, to be honest with you, other than that, I didn't see it much as a accomplishment. I mean, I was happy that we won the game 1-0. I did the goal scoring, just the winning goal, scored it, and got 3 points for us. And after that, I didn't really think much about it.
nah, that makes sense. And I guess on the the popularity side of things, I remember being in the locker room and your phone was blowing up with you remember that people were hitting you up and congratulating you, which was kind of funny to see. I guess pivoting a little bit, right? Following your career at Canisius, you opted out of trying to pursue the professional route, right? Like walk us through that thought process and why you maybe didn't want to pursue that.
So, I before joining Canisius, I didn't really know much about conferences, right? Like I said before, I think I should have obviously done my research before coming to the US, and on the level that I've played in Germany, I should have gone maybe to a more competitive conference in the NCAA. It was a D1 school, but not the most competitive environment. So it doesn't attract many scouts to be even considered in the draft, in the MLS draft, right? I realized that I think after COVID, I had a conversation with an Italian senior, Manu, if you remember him, and he told me about his journey in the US and that other people also thought about going professional, right? So he advised me on transferring at that point. Said if you want to make it here in the US, then you should go to a more competitive school in soccer, I guess, in a more competitive environment.
Yeah,
After COVID hit, so I did played my freshman year, sophomore year, COVID hit 2020 March. That's when they kind of shut down everything. Um, and then when I came back and looked into transferring and seeing what kind of opportunities or options I would have, then I heard, okay, not all your credits are going to get transferred, and you're going to face this, and you're going to face this problem when you transfer. So at that point, I was having having to decide: do I want to go professional? Do I really want to pursue professional soccer and just kind of do everything on the side in terms of school? Um, and you also think about making money, then taking care of yourself, maybe giving back to your family, right? So at that point, I just thought the odds are very low. I'm not an odds guy. I love to chase your dream. But at that point, I just had to make that clear decision for myself and thought, hey, I love business, I love finance. let me get into finance and just take that the way I see soccer, with the same drive, same competitiveness, um, same eager to win and pursue a career in finance.
That's amazing, and it's funny. Similar thought process between me and you, but mine was freshman year. It was just like odds are low, and even if they were to work out, realistically, the highest I could probably make is second tier, maybe third tier of U.S. professional soccer, and there's no money. There's no money on that. So it's like if I go this finance route, at least it's gonna be hard too, but at least I'll have the money, and it would be worth it. Like the risk return profile was way more attractive for me going that route. As you reflect on your soccer journey, what has been like, the toughest experience for you, and how did you navigate that?
I do have to say it's the transition from German soccer to US soccer. I was You have to understand the mindset I had coming into the US was I'm going to the MLS. I'm going to play my college soccer, but the goal is going into the MLS.
Yeah,
Once I came to the US and joined the team, I was kind of underwhelmed. Can I say that? I thought the level of play was higher. To be honest, the level of play was higher, and I also thought that you play more of a soccer, not just kick or run kind of.
yeah, it's very direct. Yeah, not physical, nothing technical. It's just hit long.
Very physical, very direct, um, not technical, like you said. So, and not everyone is on the same wavelength, right? There you have kids that are coming just to go to school and had the opportunity to join the team. Um, then you have people on scholarships. You have everything in between, right? So, people have different goals, right? Not everyone wants to go to the MLS or wants to become a professional soccer player. So that's how they treat their career in college as well, right? You have people that don't give a shit.
Yeah, don't care as much as you do, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
don't care as much as you do.
love is not the same. It's just just the reality, unfortunately, and that can drag the level down.
100%, and that drags you down too over time, if you want or not. You're trying to keep up your level, but after a certain period of time, you think to yourself, "Hey, what am I even doing this all for?" I mean, it's not boxing; it's a team sport. And so you can't just run through the whole field and try to score a goal. At least the 11 players on the field have to be on the same page, right? So I think the toughest part for me was realizing that, Johnny, you are adjusting to the level here right now. And if you keep on adjusting to this level, you finally have to make the decision that you're not going to pursue professional soccer. And that's exactly what I've done then. And I would say it was the toughest situation I had, toughest decision, but also took a lot of kind of pressure from it too, because I saw a different opportunity in my life for the first time,
Yeah, just wasn't soccer.
other than soccer. Yeah, I mean, you were 2 years older, 2 classes older. Yeah, two
Yeah,
classes. Um, so I saw you doing your finance, being in the Golden Griffin Fund at that time, seeing other people pursuing different routes, and always, like I said, I always loved business, always loved the idea of finance, getting into finance. So I told myself, hey, why don't I just take school seriously and maybe pursue a career in finance? Why not? So having this other option while having to deal with that helped me a lot.
for sure. I think sometimes as athletes, right, you're just tied on this one identity. I'm a soccer player. I'm a soccer player. And if the soccer isn't going as well, or you may have to like shift and do something else, you almost have like an identity crisis, right? You're like, who am I if I'm not a soccer player? But I think having something else that can counterbalance that goes a long way. And it sounds like that was the case for you.
100%. And on top of that, I mean, I would never say you have to prove anyone anything other than yourself. But I also had a family back home and friends back home that all thought, hey, this guy's going to make it in the US, right? Um, so I was kind of, hey, how am I going to tell him that I might stop playing soccer, which was, I mean, you would have never heard that out of my mouth, right?
Yeah.
So they would have probably thought, hey, something happened to him over there.
Yeah. You kid Johnny? Like what happened?
Yeah, yeah, you got brainwashed. What's going on? Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I mean, that was definitely the toughest decision I've had to make. But I mean, they always say one door closed, the other door opens, right? And that helped me actually a lot moving forward in my time here in the US too, right?
Absolutely. 100% agree there. Last question for you on this segment of the pod. As you reflect back on your, soccer journey, what advice would you give to young soccer players out there that maybe want to go and maximize their talent and go to the highest level possible for their, talent level?
So I would say from 8 to 14, have fun. Don't bother. Be competitive. Don't bother about any stress. Just play the game. Have fun and work hard. Work on, hey, I can't do this trick right now. Let me try and work on it every day up until I can do it. Right? Don't try to be join a competitive or academy team if you don't really feel it, because that takes a lot of joy away at that point if you don't want it, right? Um, and then another thing is confidence. I mean, the whole podcast was throughout this whole podcast. Now we kind of talked about confidence, but confidence is something you earn over time. I'd say it's by proving yourself that you work hard, right? So over time, you back that up with continuously working hard, doing the extra hours in the gym, on the field, and that will automatically reflect. Trust me, automatically reflect in your game, and people will think, "What happened to this guy?" Yeah. You don't have to be. Confidence takes so much more than being a good player, because an amazing player with not so much confidence can be the worst player on the field.
It becomes very mental as you move up the levels for sure.
100%. So just keep your confidence. Try to keep not earn your confidence over time. Work hard, work on yourself, and then I would say always stay competitive. Try to be competitive with anyone, obviously on a positive level, but just keep that inner hunger in you.
Very, very good advice. I'm sure a lot of our younger viewers will really take a lot from that. We're going to pivot a little bit and go into this rapid fire section where I ask you a question, and then the first thing that comes to mind is your answer. First question for you: best player you ever played with?
Daniel Dejanovic.
Oh, shoot, with Frankfurt or?
Yeah, I played with him at Frankfurt. Have to say he's probably the best player I've ever played with. Just knowing how smart he was, his IQ on the field was, I mean, from young age up until now, phenomenal.
Best player you ever played against?
I think I have to say Sidney Ballo. He was a younger age. He was 2 years younger than me, but also played in our level from the beginning on. Transferred to Chelsea early on. Was a phenomenal player. But I can also, there's so many players that I could just mention right now.
I was gonna say because we talked about this when we were in Miami. Nana, yeah, Nana.
Yeah, he played for Hoffenheim.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I thought that's who you were gonna say. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a long list of players that you played against that are not playing the pros.
Most famous player, probably, yeah. Best player, I wouldn't say that.
Interesting. Best advice you've ever been given?
In terms of soccer,
Soccer, life, anything.
look at what you got in front of you. Keep your head down and keep grinding.
Love it. And last question for you: who in your mind is winning the 2026 World Cup?
If I don't say Germany, am I not a German no more?
But do you really think that, right? Obviously, you want Germany to win because you're German, but do you really think Germany's gonna win it?
I think Spain is gonna do it.
Yeah, I think I have Spain or England. I mean, Germany. I think I have Germany, France, Argentina, are like the second tier. But I think top tier is probably like Spain or England in my mind. But we'll see. I'm excited for it.
Germany has a top attacking group, attacking midfield, weak in the back, unfortunately. But the World Cup, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
It's been amazing, man. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and share some gems here, though. Thanks again for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Du.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day to listen and support this podcast. It is very much appreciated. Please follow the show if you don't already do so. The show can be found on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and the rest of the other major platforms. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Much love. This show is produced by Yak Awok and original music by Scott Holmes.